Today I am riding from Condo and John Tien down to One Stop Visa Services on Soy 6 in Pattaya. I'm going through all the do's and don'ts, why you shouldn't rent a motorbike, or should I say rent a scooter in Thailand. If you have a bike license, you should. You can only rent a scooter if you have a bike license. That doesn't include if you have a provisional entitlement in the UK. You will get stopped by the police. You will end up paying a fine. Twice today, going into Pattaya, I got stopped when I was at traffic lights, asking if I had a license. They didn't bother to check. I just said yes, and they waved me on because I do, and I was confident. If you mumble and you go, oh, I don't know, they'll want to check. They could want to check anyway. Just having your standard English driving license or any other license doesn't work. You need to get an international driving permit. They won't accept an English license, American license, Canadian license. It has to be the IDP. If you decide to move here, you need to get a Thai driving license, which is why I'm going to One Stop Visa Services now to book in to get my Thai driving test and driving license. If you do ride a big bike in the UK, scooters are nothing like riding a big bike. The wheels are small, the suspension's crap, the braking distance is different, everything feels different. You don't lean, turn the handles. If you don't ride a scooter or a motorbike in the UK and you've got a driving licence, don't rent a bike. It is very dangerous. There are no rules. People use whatever lane they want, whenever they want, undercut you, overtake you. The cars drift in and out of different lanes. It is not for the faint-hearted. I've been riding since I was 17. I've had many different motorbikes. I've toured around Thailand on a motorbike, so I'm fairly confident. And each time I get on a bike here, I still shit myself. Get to traffic lights like now, it's like wacky races. The rules over here are you have to wear a helmet, even if you're a passenger. There's no forgiveness saying, oh, I didn't rent a bike with a helmet, the police don't care, you will get a fine. You'll see lots and lots of Thais driving around without helmets on. Most of the time they get away with it. Today, again, when the policeman realised he couldn't get me, he pulled over the nearest person behind me, which was Thai, and he didn't have a licence on, so he'll have me pay a fine. Another reason you shouldn't rent a scooter here is hot. It's fine when you're moving along like this, however, when you're in stationary traffic, like I'm going to be in a minute, because I'm going to go the sort of via Walking Street way down Second Road, and there's always traffic there. Ooh. See, crap suspension. You get very hot and sweaty. Given all that, I would still say, if you have the experience and have a license, have a go at renting a bike. Take it easy first of all, go slowly, don't try and cut in and out like all the Thais do. They are used to it, they seem to have eyes in the back of their head, or they just don't care what's happening around them. I mean, like this guy here, no helmet, playing with his phone. So you can turn left on a red light at most intersections unless it says you can't. You can't turn right on a red, like the guy on the motorbike who hit in front of us. here's the traffic. On renting a car, I had a car yesterday for the day. I needed to move some stuff into my storage locker. And I wasn't very organised, so I couldn't do it in one run. It was $1,000 to rent a car for a day, 22 quid. Nothing. I rented a little Toyota Altis. Kind of old, but it did the job. Fuel is really cheap. This guy is just in the wrong lane. But if you try and go through traffic, you will take forever. Something like a 4.5 kilometre journey from Jomtien to where I'm going in Pattaya. And it's saying, sat-nav said it's going to take me half an hour. I'll do it quicker because I'm on a scooter. But if you're in a car, you are just going to be sitting there. Same as if you get a Bolt taxi, you will just end up sitting there in this. The nice thing is with the Bolts, they are a fixed price. Whereas if you get a metered taxi, you're being charged constantly as you're sitting in traffic. Bolts are really cheap. The guy in front is probably a Bolt driver taxi, motorbike taxi. They're incredibly cheap. I'm not a huge fan of them, but that is down your own personal choice. Again, the guy in front hasn't got a helmet. He will get a fine if the police decide to give him a fine. If you're on the licensed motorbike taxis, ones with the jackets on, they will have, or should have, a spare helmet. Use of mirrors here is clearly, it's optional. I think they're all Jedi, and the Force is with them. There's a lot of road accidents here, but there should be a hell of a lot more. If this was in England, I'd either be dead by now, or I'd have someone punch me in the face in the way that I've been driving. Sometimes you can't squeeze through on a scooter, or you can if you're tired and you've got balls. Smart buses will just stop in the middle of the road. People will just pull out like this guy. You have to be hyper aware. There are pedestrian crossings like the one we went across. As a driver, be aware that people over here don't understand them. They may walk out, they may not. It's just down to you to pay attention. If you're crossing the road, don't think that someone will stop. I was standing on a pedestrian crossing today with a policeman next to me over in Jomtien. I nearly got run over by a motorbike going the wrong way up Jomtien Road. Most of the major traffic lights here have a countdown when it's your turn to go. So in the top right hand corner it will start to count down. At that point, again, wacky racing starts, everyone revs, everyone gets onto the pedestrian crossing bit and starts to move forward because you're just going to save an inch. Most of the scooters you can rent here are automatic. Yeah, you can see it is now counting down. To riding a big bike in England, you may well find this position very uncomfortable. My boxers are currently having their own little trip up my backside. Jesus Christ. The seats seem to slide, like tilt forward a little bit. once you get used to it, it's fine, but it's very, very different than anything motorbike shaped. The one benefit of having a scooter, apart from it being really light, is the engine is not next to your legs. If you've got a passenger, they'll get hot legs because of the exhaust of the engine. The engine is at the back. When you're sitting in slow moving traffic like we are now, when you're on a motorbike, your legs get so hot. I previously had a Versi 650 here when I was doing some touring. Brilliant on the road, nice and lightweight. I've got a GS 1200 at home in England. I wouldn't have that over here. It's too big, too heavy. You'd never want to ride it around places like this. I might as well be a car. However, I say when we were sat at, so it's red light on a crossing and no one crossing, so everyone goes. When you sat in traffic like this, your legs cook. The bike gets hot, and yeah, you just get very, very warm. Another disadvantage, and I'm going to jinx myself now, is obviously it's rainy season right now. I'm here at the end of September. It doesn't look particularly rainy right now. About half an hour ago it was blazing sunshine and ridiculously hot. But at any given point it can start to rain. So if you're on a motorbike, you are going to get wet. You're not going to get cold because it's still, I think it's like 30, low 30s today. But you will get wet. So keep your phones and everything else like that in the seat underneath you. There is, depending on which bike you get, storage under the seats. I've got an Aerox 155 rental at the minute, and it has enough space to get my open face underneath there, but you wouldn't get a full closed face in there. You probably wouldn't get two open faces in there. I have to turn mine upside down. There we go. It is fairly safe leaving your helmet on your bike here. I know a few people that have had theirs taken. I was going to literally just rent a little 125. I tried the helmet in the bottom, in the storage bit, and it wouldn't fit. I've got an English helmet with the intercom on it, and I don't fancy the temptation. If you get a helmet from many of the rental agencies, they are the cheap, like, crap 30 quid ones you get at home. I wouldn't say it's ever been tested, so try not to fall off. Try not to fall off anyway, because you won't be wearing any protective gear. I'm currently wearing sandals, shorts and a t-shirt and a helmet. But it is definitely quicker being on a bike. Fuel, I've had my indicator on for God knows how long, so I'm a cock. Fuel is really cheap here. It's something like 30 odd baht a litre. These things obviously just sip it, so you can run around all week and it hardly costs you anything. This for 8 days hire, I paid 3,300 with 1,000 of that was deposit, so 2,200 baht. So 50 quid for 8 days. I mean, it's nothing really, so I say I would recommend, but only if you've got experience. The amount of people you see over here with road rash and all sorts of things where they've rented a bike, don't know how to handle it, especially on the islands where you've got sweeping bends and you don't have the traffic issue that we have here, but you've got poor roads, wet roads, gravel, all that sort of stuff. The bikes may also not be very well maintained. Tyres might not be up to scratch. This bike's got 15,000 kilometres on it. It's alright, but it definitely has a few war wounds on there. I need to turn left up here. So we are currently at Well, I've been going that slow. It looks like I'm doing an outdoor cycle apparently, according to my watch. We're at 2:34. Ooh, shit. And this is choice 6 at 2:30. Note to self, don't look at your Apple Watch when riding a motorbike. And of course, there's a car in front. There's many cars in front. Road like this wouldn't be a problem in England, although going at 0 mile an hour would be. These bikes have very soft, and then it bounces to a point. There is always a party at one of these bars. People drinking already. That's what it says. Probably have to turn some of these bits down because of the music and YouTube and the copywriting thing. God. Must say, I've never been down here at this time of the day before. I'm amazed the bars are open and the girls are sitting outside already. I haven't even had lunch. Not that I come down to soy 6 because I'm just too old for that now. I'm in my early 40s, mid 40s maybe. And it's just so loud. And here we are at One Stop Leader Services. Nice thing about scooters as well, you can kind of, within reason, dump them anywhere. Oh.